Hi everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Sean, episode number 6. This one is called Displaced into Space. It's kind of long, so again, short intro. We're gonna just go with it. So, here's the story. A mighty warrior stood on a dusty desert plain, facing a huge, open cave. The people of the small desert village stood behind this warrior in fear. Their homes had been terrorized by the deadly Razorglorp, a beast as sharp as it was tall, and it was nearly 35 feet tall. I'm not exactly sure how you measure sharpness, but that means that it was incredibly sharp. Yes, that is correct. Every part of this beast was sharp. Despite it looking smooth and gangly, any contact with its skin would cut you down. It would curl up in a ball and roll through parts of this village and destroy homes, crops, children, etc., and it was becoming a huge issue for everyone. The strongest warrior in all the land was called upon to dispatch this beast, so people could get on with their lives, like earning a living farming so their children could go to art school. The warrior's purple hair blew behind her in the really dusty wind. "Razorglorp, show yourself! I have been tasked with your destruction, so today is the day you die! Face me, the mighty Elora, and meet your doom," Elora called out. The townsfolk all gasped. She was so bold, so buff, so cool. The beast stumbled out of its cave. "Hey man, all the shouting, it isn't helping me sleep. I'm nocturnal, you know. I care not for your sleep habits. I've come for your head." Elora unsheathed her sword and pointed it to the beast. What a badass. "Oh, this is about the village. I'm really sorry about that, but my razor skin makes me so itchy all the time. Every minute I'm awake, I'm in agony. Rolling through crops and children relieves the itch for a little while, and spending all night terrorizing people tires me out to the point of passing out, so that's how I sleep. My life is misery." The beast explained in a most dejected manner. Some of the villagers even started to feel sorry for the Razorglorp, but mostly the ones with still alive children. "Well, consider this to be a mercy killing," Elora grumbled, and then let out a warrior yell and charged into battle. "Well, I guess we're doing this," the Razorglorp moaned. The beast curled up into a ball and rolled at Elora as she ran forward with her sword in striking position. The two of them hit their max speed as they crossed path and stood past each other in stoic fashion, like what would happen in a cool anime. First, Elora let out a gasp as a slice was heard. A line of her face began to bleed, and her hair was cut into a really sexy-looking undercut, kind of how, like, Natalie Dormer looks in the final installment of the Hunger Games trilogy. Yeah, like that. She slowly turned to face the Razorglorp and the crowd of townies. The Razorglorp turned its head, but before it could speak, the head tumbled off the body. Elora had slain the beast. People cheered and rejoiced. Some even went to see just how sharp this beast actually was, and a few fingers were lost, but later reattached with magic. The camera panned upward until it got kind of fuzzy as it passed through a monitor to let you know that someone was watching all of this happen. "Wow, dude, she's just the one we need," Giblet spoke. "You're right. She is strong and brave and knows how to do combat. Activate the abduction beam," Dorf commanded. A ship full of short, teal and pink polka-dotted aliens began to hustle about, slipping switches, pushing buttons, playing with touchscreens and holograms, all that kind of futuristic stuff. Above Elora, a ship materialized in the sky, and a bright light hit her and began to lift her up. The people around her thought this not to be too big of a deal. They just assumed it was some business with gods. Badass warriors often get called upon by gods, so whatever. Elora basically thought the same thing, so she wiped her sword clean, used it as a mirror to see how cool her new haircut was, and then put it away. Elora appeared in the ship, much to her confusion, as a bunch of small creatures scurried about and made lots of crazy noises at her. One injected her with something, and suddenly she could understand everything they said. "Good, the language injector works. Hello, we are the Zorbs, and we need your help, mighty warrior," Giblet said to Elora. "What is all this stuff? It's so bright and shiny and confusing to me," Elora spoke in bewilderment. She sat, which was pretty lucky for the Zorbs, because then she was at about eye level with them. Right, culture shock. We so rarely interact with people who cannot travel into space and communicate with anyone they please and don't have smartwatches. Dorf took a deep breath and rubbed his forehead. Okay, we're gonna have to get you up to speed on a lot of technology and get you accustomed to this and, all this kind of future-y stuff. This is gonna be a long journey. No. We don't have time for that. The Gorbel Smash is going to destroy our cities and all that we hold dear, Giblets cried out. Your people are plagued by a dangerous monster as well? Alora asked. Yes, we Zorbs are a peaceful race who has given up any sort of violence so long ago that we don't even remember how to do it. We have been searching the universe for a hero as mighty as you to aid us, Dorf admitted. That sounds stupid. Allow me to slay the beast. Then I will travel the universe slaying evil beasts for people who cannot themselves. For I am Alora the Mighty, she cried out. Wow, that was significantly easier than teaching about our futuristic society and all the fancy technology. But how will you ever cope with a world you don't know? Giblets queried. I don't know. We could probably roll a montage, and at the end of it, I will know how to deal with computers and lasers and space travel and whatever else the universe has to throw at me, Elora said as she took a bite from what looked like a large turkey leg that no one really knew how she got her hands on. But being the mighty hero of the tale, no one really questioned it either. Dorf pointed to another Zorb at a different computer and ordered him to activate the montage simulator. Elora was transported into a hologram room that began to teach her what she needed to know about the standard technology of the universe. She had hologram scientists teach her what computers were, she engaged in spaceship combat, as well as training with laser weapons, as she was introduced to many examples of life that the universe had to offer. After about an hour or so, she emerged from the hologram room, ready for action. Since the Zorbs didn't have any weapons of any kind, they made a pit stop at a Walmart planet to acquire everything Elora needed. She kitted up with laser guns, beam swords, and small cybernetic enhancements. She did refuse to let go of her sword, for sentimental reasons, but she had told everyone that she trusted in cold, hard steel. She was ready for anything, and decked out like a Viking in minor cyberpunk garb, which generally is to say, she looked really fucking cool. The Zorbs brought her to their homeworld, Zorbulon, and began to explain the situation. Their peaceful planet had been safe for so long. However, a new creature had appeared on their planet. The Gorbel Smash was a large animal with huge stone-like hands, which it used to smash things, hence the name. It generally smashed people and buildings associated with food production, which was becoming a major issue, as Zorbs, like many other people in the universe, need to eat food to live. Countless tough mercenaries had tried killing this beast, to the point that no more would take the job. They had other things to do, and most people didn't like dying. The Zorbs had no idea where the creatures lived, so Elora couldn't go out and slay the beast in its home. She needed to formulate a solid plan to lure the beast out. The creature smashes your farms and eats its fill? Elora questioned, as she stood over one of those cool battlefield tables with holographic designs of the surrounding area. This is true. Why do you ask? Responded Giblets. She wagged her hands through the hologram and said, We can set up a trap for the beast, and slay it when it comes to take the bait. When she was done moving her hands, there was a small pile of food in an area with only one entrance, the perfect place to spring a trap. That's the perfect place to spring a trap, Dwarf cried out. Everyone stared at Dwarf with a look that just said, Come on, man, she just said that. We don't need your extra exposition. Be cool. After a bit of embarrassment, Dwarf mumbled, So, how can we help? What do you need? Elora explained that she needed a big old pile of food and a door to close behind the creature, and she would do the rest. Much later that evening, all of that stuff we just talked about was set up, and Elora sat on top of a wall surrounding the big damn pile of food. She flipped on her night vision goggles, which was a new gadget she was pretty excited to get her hands on. Before too long, the Gorbel Smash showed up and began to shovel piles of food into its mouth, with its big stony hands. Elora let out a mighty yell, and the Zorb sprung the trap. "Your feasting ends here, vile beast." "Whoa, me? Nah, man, you got this wrong. I was just hungry, and these little guys left all of this food undefended. See, my ship crashed on this planet, and I couldn't get a distress signal out. By the time I found these guys, I was so hungry, I went crazy on their foods. See, we could work this out," the Gorbel Smash explained to Elora. "No, your reign of terror is over," she called back, ignoring all that crap he just said. She didn't really care. She just wanted to cut down some beastie, and it had been a long time since their last fight. "Well, have it your way. I'll smash you like the others, which is okay, because I'm open to peaceful negotiations, but smashing people is my true passion," the beast said as it pounded its fist into the ground. The battle was on. Elora was nimble and dodged around the smashing fists of her foe with cool flips and cartwheels and other impressive feats of dexterity. As she did this, she blasted with her new laser guns, landing tons of blows on the creature, but to no avail. Laser pistols, rifles, and even laser cannons had no effect. She tossed all of these aside and began to hack at the striking hands as she dodged around them with her new beam swords, but it still wasn't working. The battle was fought all throughout the night. Elora was exhausted, and out of high-tech weaponry to use on the Gorbel Smash. She drew her steel sword and held it high to the sky, the suns of Zorbulon shining behind it. She then lowered her sword at the monster and charged. She had no other ideas of what to do. The fist came down towards her, and she thrust her sword into it. "Holy shit, man, that hurts!" the Gorbel Smash cried out in pain, with the sword still stuck in its palm. Elora used the momentum of the beast flinging its hand to pull her sword out and do a sick flip towards the creature's face, just where she plunged her sword, killing it totally dead. The beast was slain, and Elora had saved her second group of people this space week. She dusted herself off and stood on the felled Gorbel Smash as the suns rose just above her. It was like a really cool metal album cover. I mean, I would buy that album and I wouldn't even have to listen to a track first. The Zorbs rewarded her with a nice sum of space ducats, and she bid them farewell. Elora went to explore the universe and beat up as many bad guys and monsters and evil technomancers as she could find. The Zorbs also learned how cool violence could be, if done the right way, and for good reasons. They would never let anyone mess with them ever again. The end. Okay, guys, that was Displaced into Space for Storytime with Sean, episode number 6. Thank you for listening. It really means a lot to me if you listen to this whole thing, and I really can't appreciate it enough. Last time, the story got more popular than my previous ones, and that made me really happy. So I'd really like to try to continue that up. Maybe have more people share it around would be nice as well, and get some likes and subscriptions and those kind of things, you know. So if you want to do that, go ahead. That'd be nice. Otherwise, I have a Twitter and a Facebook page for you guys to like and follow if you want to do that. And still would be happy to hear any comments or Twitter replies or whatever, any way to contact me of you saying that you liked it, or if you say I want to hear this thing. So I don't know, just, you know, right now I'm just kind of making fun of sci-fi tropes pretty much. So if you could send me a prompt, that would be really fun. I would do that, and give a shout out to you like I could give a shout out to my friend. She suggested the purple hair and the name, Elora, of the hero this time around. So, you know, thanks for that. That was really, really nice. So, thank you, Tika. And I guess that's it. You know, tell your friends. Say it was funny. And thank you for listening to this. Is probably the longest episode so far. Alright, come back next time to listen to it. I don't know if it will be next week. It might be 2 weeks from now. I have a lot of other stuff that I actually need to get done. So, If you really, really want to know, Twitter and Facebook places are the places to go because I will update those with blurbs about it much more frequently than this. So, this was a long-winded outro, but thank you very much for listening, and I hope to have you guys come back and listen to the next one.